and welcome to the Kiosk Presents. We have a great story today. Back on June 30th, 1966, Irv Gordon bought a cherry red Volvo P1800. Now, so many years later, he's crossing the 3 millionth mile. Thank you so much for joining us today, Irv.
Oh, it's a pleasure. How are you, Stephen?
Good. Now, what can you tell me about your car? How did it last so long?
Well, obviously, it's very well built. You know, I have no clue as to what the technology is, but you know, I just do the best I can to take care of it. This is a car that gets driven 365 days a year, regardless of what the weather's like, and it doesn't have a garage, and it's outside, and it's half a block from the ocean, and you know, I just do the best to wash and wax it, but you know, you got to wash underneath the car too. You got to get the salt out from, you know, under the fender panels and so on. So every once in a while, I get under there with hot water and wash the underside of the car during the wintertime. You know, it's the only way to save it.
Now, we're out in Buffalo, New York, and out here we use a lot of salt on our roads. You've traveled everywhere, so you've probably been through some bad winters where a lot of salt was used, and obviously being near the ocean, and that hasn't really dampened the ability for your car to keep running.
No, absolutely not. I've been up to Buffalo during the wintertime. Had to try when I found out that the buffalo wings came from the Anchor Bar. I had to take a ride up to the Anchor Bar and give it a try in person. So I've been up there in the wintertime, and I've gone to Toronto, have to go through Buffalo. I've been to London, Ontario, have to drive through Buffalo. So, you know, I've been up there a number of times, and the weather never stops me.
Fantastic. Now, is your car four-wheel drive or two-wheel drive?
It's rear-wheel drive only.
Okay. I know Volvos often come in four-wheel drive. It's one reason that they were fairly popular around here for a long time.
Well, those are the new cars. Back in '66, there was no all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive. It was all two-wheel drive, and they were all rear-wheel drive.
And that hasn't stopped you from driving it pretty much everywhere?
My car rides great in the snow. It's a terrific, I mean, it's a car made in Sweden, you know. Sweden gets a lot of snow. They build their cars to go. You put the right tires on, you're going anywhere.
Now, why did you originally choose that car?
Well, I had a couple of General Motors cars. Both of them turned out to be lemons. GM didn't stand behind them. A friend of mine was into foreign cars. He showed me a picture of a P1800, this automobile, as a convertible that the local dealer was selling. So I went down to take a look at it because it looked pretty in the picture. Car and Driver, Road and Track magazine. I took a test ride in it. I loved it. But when push came to shove, I couldn't afford the air-conditioned convertible that I took for a test ride. This car was $4,150, and I only made $4,200 that year. So it was a whole year's salary for me. But I just loved driving it, and I loved the way it looked, and obviously it's paid off all this time.
Yes, it has. What was some of the worst driving conditions you've been in through it?
Oh, gee. Probably the worst driving conditions I've ever been in was on Interstate 80, traveling out to California in December a few years back. I mean, they closed off the highway. They put the gates across. You couldn't go in. You couldn't go out. They were bringing in food to the cattle by helicopter and so on. And it was a disaster. I mean, you know, and I was quite nervous. But the car handled very, very well, and one of the locals in Arizona, I was trying to get down to Phoenix first to stop and see some friends, told me about a back way down to Phoenix, getting off the highway, and I went through an Indian reservation and eventually worked my way down to Phoenix, and the car handled just great.
How do you feel about reaching 3 million miles today?
Well, I'm obviously quite excited about it. You know, this is a milestone I never thought about getting to, and it's just like I said, it's just been an accident. You know, I don't know what's going to happen as a result of the 3 million. It's nice to have all the notoriety, but I know in 2 weeks from now nobody will even remember my name. So, you know, I can't take it too seriously.
Do you have any plans to get a new car now that you've run this car for over 3 million miles?
Well, when I turned the first million, Volvo gave me a new 780 Volvo, 780 Bertone. When I turned 2 million miles, they gave me a new C70, which I still have. And gee, I'm kind of hoping that you know, this will probably be my last new car. You know, so, I hope somebody's listening out there.
Well, fantastic. Where are your favorite places to travel?
Oh, I love traveling on Route 66. That's so much fun. And I also enjoy taking a ride up to New England. I like to go, where it's peaceful and quiet and drive around the mountains and so on. I used to do it all the time when I was a lot younger, and I still enjoy it. It's still a great place to go. So, I travel all over the place, and it's always nice to go up to Buffalo and so on. I got a couple of favorite restaurants up that way, and like I said, been to the Anchor Bar just to see what the Buffalo Wings looked like when they came from the original place.
Fantastic. Just in case you don't fall in love with any of your new Volvos,
yes,
we can't wait to talk to you when you get to your 4th million mile.
Oh, terrific! I hope I'm still around by then.
Thank you so much for joining us today on the Kiosk Presents, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure.